One of my favorite pastimes outside of, I guess, being a big nerd is actually spending a ton of times in the mountains. I actually spent 10 years guiding. My first summer married was guiding. We spent the entire year, or the entire 2 months of the summer living in a tent, guiding canoe trips for kids. So this is something I love, being out in the mountains. And one of the things that I have needed, because I had a hard time finding it really, is a good set of wireless headphones for listening to podcasts mainly. I actually very rarely listen to music, but podcasts while I'm out running, training in the mountains, in the snow sometimes, in the rain lots, because it is the lower mainland of British Columbia. And I think with these, I'm gonna drop them. I think with these, the PowerBeats Pro, I finally found the update to the Jaybird X1s that I had originally. I had the original Jaybirds, awesome. But let's get into the PowerBeats and we'll talk a little bit more about the other headphones I've tried in the meantime. One of the big features of the PowerBeats Pro is the H1 chip from Apple that lets you connect to one device. I started with my phone, and then my connection was across all my devices. I didn't have to do anything else. It was just there and ready to go. That's excellent. That part, stellar. Connection was easy. When I opened the case next to my phone, I can see where the charge state is of the case or of the headphones. It's excellent. I love that part. Also the same if I open it next to my iPad, it works like that. I don't know if it does it to my Mac because I've actually never tested, so we'll say it doesn't, but it might be wrong. I love that part. But I actually don't love all of the H1 chip. One thing I don't love is that, yes, it'll connect to multiple devices, but I actually have to physically change the connection. So I have to go in to Control Panel, and I have to bring down the audio settings, and then I have to change which device I'm connected to. This is unlike many other Bluetooth headphones, like my Plantronics PowerBeats Pro. Check the link above here and in the description. With those, they'll accept up to 2 connections, so I have my iPad and my phone in there, and whichever one I start playing from is what I hear. I don't have to actually go into the sound settings or anything like that. I just get to use them. And that's actually better. I have found switching connection between devices to be a bit of a pain in the ass. In fact, occasionally I even hit a spot, maybe once every couple of weeks, where I try to connect to, say, my iPad, and I previously had to connect to my phone, and my iPad doesn't see the device at all. My Mac might see the headphones, my phone will see the headphones, but my iPad will have no idea what's happening. Or something like that. It just won't even see it, nothing, just nothing. It doesn't even see it as an option to change too. That's really annoying, and there's no real, even if I go into the Bluetooth settings and try, it just doesn't work. I end up putting the headphones back in, closing, opening, reconnecting 3 or 4 times, trying to get the headphones to work, and eventually they do, but that's way more annoying than just having the audio automatically play from whichever device it's playing from. The sound quality on these is good. I wouldn't say I'm an audiophile, but I like it. I have found with these headphones versus some of the other ones that I've used, that with these ones, I actually hear a song and I'm like, oh, that was excellent. Even if it's a song I've listened to lots, say Rush, Trouble with the Trees. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, that song from Rush that I really like, and I'll listen to it in there. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good. Maybe it's because PowerBeats are a little bass heavy sometimes. I actually don't notice it to be annoying. So I'm happy with it. I'll take it. I like the sound quality. As far as it's not noise canceling anyway, outside of the fit. It comes with some rubber tips, and the rubber tips fit and they block out some noise just mechanically because they fit well enough to block out external noise. I have found that I can hear people running up behind me. So I was on the trail and a pro runner came up behind me and said hey, and I could hear his footsteps even before he said hey. And so that's good. When I'm out, if I was out walking around with them, I can hear cars. I can't hear them quite as far away, but I can hear them as they come up, and I'm aware of what's happening there. So that's good, because I do want to be aware of my surroundings. I certainly don't hear the nature sounds, but I can hear my feet crunching on the gravel. I can hear lots of things happening around me. I would be concerned about not hearing a bear. I'd be pretty close maybe though, but otherwise they're really good. I like the sound quality. At least I'm happy with it, and they certainly are better, certainly comparable to any of the Jaybirds. So in the midst of all this trying, I tried 4 different pairs of Jaybirds, and I returned them all over and over because they kept breaking on me. And I tried an MPOW set, and I tried, what else? JLab, and I tried something else. So I tried a bunch. These ones definitely had the best audio quality, and 4 months in, they're still working. That's another big thing. Now, fit. I said that they come with those soft silicone tips, which is great. I just left the ones in there that I had. They seem to fit fine. I had no complaints. What I do love is the over-the-ear hooks, because with the over-the-ear hooks, they hook onto your ear and they just stay where they're supposed to be. Some of the other brands I tried, I think one of the JLab pairs I tried, and one of the MPOW ones I tried, they had over-the-ear hooks as well. But overall, the hook, it didn't work as well, didn't conform to my ear as well, something like that. The hook wasn't as nice. I find the hook on the PowerBeats Pros to be really good. Like it, totally recommend it. Another good thing about the fit is that with the other ones where they had the two halves of the buds wired together, the original Jaybirds, you could kind of flip them so your left and right would flip, and you put them over your ear instead and wrap the cable over your ear and around the back of your head. And that put the cabling up at the back of your head snugly, and then it wouldn't be dragging on your neck. I never found that worked really well with any of the most current ones in the last couple of years. So, because I've been literally looking for like 2 years for this. So what I found is that they would always just pull out the cable tension to like keep it up and against your head would pull the earbuds out. And if you had them, put the right way so that they were coming down below your ears, that the cable would drag on the back of my neck regularly and pull them out. Or when I'm bushwhacking, they would pull them out the tree or something like that. Not been the case with these at all. These fully wireless, that fully wireless is part of the fit thing. They just stay in your ears. They're comfortable. I've worn them for like 7 or 8 hours at a time. I've worn them for 4 or 5 hours around the house doing stuff. They're comfortable, I like it. Battery life and charging. So Apple claims that these have 9 hours. I've never actually used them to dead. I've got 7 hours out of them, and they had 10 or 15% of battery left. So sure, we'll go with 9 hours works for me. Now, one of the caveats with this is, because they also say it has 24 hours of extra charge in the case, but a caveat for sports people is that you can't put them in when they're damp. So if you are running, if I was out on like a really long, say 100-mile race or something, then I would go to charge them at some point, and I'd have to make sure they're totally dry before I put them in. So if it's like a rainy or like really hot and I'm really sweaty in the summer, then I'd have to like dry them off and hope that they were okay. I think that charging previous headphones slightly damp, even with like a pogo pin style, right, which these have for charging, is what damaged them and what kind of killed them. Despite me trying multiple times to like air them out and dry them and like wait for 2 hours, the other headphones died from Jaybird, from JLab, from MPOW, from a whole bunch of other. Anchor I had as well, cheap $30 set. And now Jaybird warranted them every time. It just got to be super annoying eventually. So now with the PowerBeats, if you make sure they're dry, which I've been like very studious about, very assiduous about, because they're expensive headphones. I got them on sale, but they're expensive. They're working fine, so I'm happy with that, but I am going to be cautious. I don't think if I was in a big race or in a long thing that I would actually put them in the case directly from being wet. I wouldn't, not even sure I'd trust putting them directly in the case. Even if I dried them off with a towel, I'd want them to like dry off with a towel and then air dry for an hour. Now they say, and I haven't actually tested this, but they say that you pop them in the case and you get like an hour and a half of charging in 5 minutes. Seems about right to me because of another problem. Occasionally I put in both buds and I come back the next day and they're even sitting on my table beside me here in my charging area. They're not, one of the buds isn't charged. And that sucks. Occasionally I've had it when I drop them in my bag, and I can only assume there that the magnet's not quite strong enough and they get shaken out. But ultimately it just doesn't get charged occasionally, and that sucks. Yeah, it's more annoying. I've actually never had it to the point where one bud was dead and one bud was alive. I've had like 40% in one and 100% on the other. And I find that annoying just because they're not matched. I really don't use them ever singly, but yeah, it's just annoying. So when you put them in, you got to be careful. I find I place them in the case and I give them like a little press, and often I can hear them click after when I press them in. So when I just put them in, they're not quite ready, not quite seated properly. When I give them a little press, they click in and then they're seated properly. So my final verdict about the PowerBeats Pros, should you buy them? I'm going to say cautiously yes. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic and I'm hesitant actually. The only thing I'm hesitant about is that long term, how is it going to go? So it's January right now in BC, right? It's January now everywhere as I record this, but in BC it's snowing, right? Don't usually get a lot of snow where I am, but it's snowing right now. And usually it should be pouring rain. And I am concerned still that the pouring rain is going to affect how they function and that they're going to die on me. I don't have anything to prove. I've been out on some wet days already and they have lasted. But like I said, I'm very cautious and I make sure that I dry them off before I charge them. That they're dry, like they've sat on my shelf for like, an hour or two, and I hand dried them first and then they sat on the shelf beside the case for a bit. What I have loved about them though is that I can charge the case. Like when I go out on a run, I can just stick the case in the charger and I come back and the case is full. And then, when I'm ready to charge, just plunk them in and I know they're charging. I don't have to like wait for them to dry and then not use the headphones for a while. Like I can carry them, down to the figure skating arena and have them down there to edit some video. That's another thing about audio that I found the latency to be really low. And so I edit audio or edit videos on my iPad through them. And because you'll see my LG review, find that up top, I needed needed extra headphones because LG monitor has a sound source in it, even though it's kind of useless and they shouldn't. So I'm going to say, yeah, you should buy them with the caveat if you're in like really sopping wet environments, they're just really expensive. So be careful. Be careful. Make sure they're dry before you charge them. That's it. If you like the review, let me know in the comments. If you didn't like the review, keep it to yourself because I don't care. If you give me a thumbs down, let me know why, actually. I'd rather know why. I wish YouTube let us have, you had to leave a comment for a thumbs down. But they don't. You want to make sure you get them, hit subscribe below. But don't hit the stupid bell because you got better things to do than just watch my videos every second. Schedule your YouTube time every week and watch me then. Have a good one.